Hop in, bro. This is the absolute top-of-the-line model. Makes sense, right? This is a big one. Luxury SUVs with active suspension have gathered here in the desert. Let's hand the mic to Li Auto. What's special about the all-new L9? Levis, it's your turn. Hey everyone. You're seeing this right, it's me, Azai. Now that I've cut my hair short, our car reviews are officially going with a cute style. Sorry, but this look demands it. So no more bosses, check out the car. From now on, it's bros, check out the car. Levis, are you ready? Okay, back to normal. Don't scroll away. Since it's an all-new generation, it's bigger. A two-tone body is now standard. The new L9 has grown in every dimension. With its increased length, width, and height, the signature light bar now stretches to 2.3 meters. This two-tone paint pairs a pearlescent silver-white upper body with a jade green lower body. It definitely gives the SUV a more flagship look. It comes standard with 22-inch wheels wrapped in Michelin PS5 tires. These are Levis exclusive wheel designs. What do you think? I don't think they're quite luxurious enough. They don't have that flashy, high-end look, but that's never really been Li Auto's style. Its luxury has always been understated. You know it's there even if no one else does. All 4 doors are now powered, and it also gets hidden power running boards. When retracted, they sit completely flush, so from the outside you can't even tell the SUV has running boards. Take a look. Go check it out. Can you tell they're there? The whole vehicle looks cleaner, and the hidden running boards increase ground clearance. Compared with conventional power running boards, they add 14 millimeters of clearance, giving the SUV slightly better off-road capability. It's not just the 4 power doors. The door handles combine 4 functions into one. Electric, capacitive touch, microswitch, and mechanical backup. Even if I block it, the handle won't pop out. It's a 4-in-1 design. Hop in, bro. How does the cabin feel? The interior is finished in green. The entire door panel is green, paired with beige for a two-tone interior. There's also an off-white wood trim panel in the middle. It looks pretty nice. The headliner uses a dark gray suede-like material. I think the color scheme feels fresh and original. The steering wheel also uses the same two-tone colors, while all the trim pieces feature a dark gray metallic finish. Overall, the cabin feels refined and premium. The most original design is around the center armrest. Here are the door controls, and over here. This button controls the electrochromic window, which now has 3 tint levels. I've already pressed it, but it takes a moment to respond. Here are the 3 tint settings, and this is the mechanical door handle. I like this design. Instead of hiding the emergency release, they placed it right here. When parked, one pull opens the door. While driving, pull it twice and the mechanical handle will still open the door. You can also use this button to close the door. Pretty nice, right? Now let's check out the 2 most important seats in the flagship L9. All the physical controls you need, ventilation, heating, massage, zero-gravity mode, and the leg rest are integrated here. This controls the backrest, and the armrest is powered so you can adjust it at the touch of a button. All 4 seats are zero-gravity seats. The front 2 are static zero-gravity seats, while the rear 2 are dynamic zero-gravity seats, meaning you can use them even while driving. That's because the seat belts, seat airbags, and other safety systems all meet the required standards. When you activate zero-gravity mode, you also get a 4-way adjustable leg rest. All 4 seats have one. Here's what it looks like. The leg rest is incredibly long. I'm 168 centimeters tall, and it fully supports my legs, so even someone around 170 to 180 centimeters tall should fit comfortably. Overall, leg support is excellent. As for the rear entertainment screen, open it and slide it forward. It has 2 LED vanity lights, which I personally love since I often do my makeup in the back. You can adjust both the color temperature and brightness, making it especially convenient for women. Paired with this small mirror, you also get a folding tray table. Notice anything special? It's much longer, so it's closer to you and holds more items. The inside is green while the outside is white, which is a thoughtful touch. It matches the two-tone interior, and the darker inside is easier to keep clean. Makes sense, right? This is the vehicle control panel, where you can operate most cabin functions. You can also open the refrigerator. Want some orange juice, bro? The fridge door opens and closes electrically, and you can stop it at any point. You can put something in before continuing, but I think there's one flaw. If you pause it, pressing the button again should reverse the action and close the door, right? Instead, it keeps opening. I think the logic should be changed so that after a pause, it continues with the previous action. I think that would make a lot more sense. Now let's check out the third row. I haven't adjusted the second row seat. I left it in a comfortable position. Now let's see how much space the third row has. There you go. Not bad, right? I'm fairly petite, so I think the space is perfectly fine. More importantly, look at the seat cushion. It's impressively long, about the same length as the tray table. It's really long and almost square-shaped. The cushion is also very wide, so overall the third row is quite comfortable. There's also a powered cover here, plus seat heating and speakers. There are mounting points on both sides, so you can attach hooks for hanging clothes or other accessories. As for the three-tone interior, dark gray, beige, and green, you'll find the same design in the third row. The wood trim wraps around this area, just like in the front. The parts you touch most are finished in dark green, such as the inside of the tray table, the outside of the steering wheel, and the wireless charging pad, while less used areas are white. It looks great and is easier to keep clean. I think that's a thoughtful detail. Alright everyone, it's time for our annual audio system showdown. Our first contestant is the Li Auto L9 with the Evez sound system. It delivers 5,440 watts through 33 speakers in a 9.3.6 layout, and it's claimed to be the best car audio system in the industry. That's not my claim. We'll let it prove itself in a moment. One quick note. Our recording equipment isn't very professional, and every test environment is slightly different. Even so, we record everything the same way, with the doors closed in a relatively quiet environment. So it won't be a perfectly objective comparison, but it'll give you a good idea. Li Auto Assistant. Play the Fairy by Tsai Chin. Ready? Ready? It's movie time. Welcome to the Li Auto L9 Evez. Billed as the best SUV under 5 million yuan. Please fasten your seatbelt. Evez. The active suspension uses an 800V high-voltage direct drive system, so you can really feel how powerful it is. Wow, that's some serious force. You can actually see the body moving. If the excitation force weren't this strong and only the active suspension was working, the body would stay remarkably stable. That's exactly how it feels. Whoa, oh, just tipped over. But out in the desert, it can actually hop itself free if it gets stuck. This is nothing. It's incredibly powerful. Thanks for experiencing the best SUV under 5 million yuan. Give me a like, okay? Hi everyone. Today we're test driving the top-of-the-line Li Auto L9 Evez. It comes standard with an 800V active suspension, steer-by-wire, brake-by-wire, and rear-wheel steering. So what actually makes it feel different to drive? The L9 is a large family-oriented SUV that's built for comfort. You might think the active suspension is mainly there to improve ride comfort, but that's not really its main purpose. Its biggest advantage is how much it enhances the vehicle's overall handling. Compared with the familiar 48V active suspension systems, you won't notice much difference on normal roads. Both react quickly to bumps and provide solid body support through corners. The key advantage of the 800V system is its high voltage, which lets it generate tremendous force almost instantly. That gives the suspension much stronger support, and allows it to lift the vehicle with remarkable force. Each wheel can generate up to 10,000 newtons of lifting force. Remember the Beijing Auto Show when Li called, "Levis, it's your turn?" That's when the L9 demonstrated hopping free from soft sand and even changing a tire by lifting a single wheel. Those demonstrations were all made possible by the powerful instant lift of the 800V active suspension. The suspension also has 3 modes, letting you choose between comfort and sport settings. In comfort mode, everything feels more relaxed and compliant. Switch to sport mode, and you really experience the biggest advantage of the 800V system. It reacts with extremely fast, powerful lifting force to keep body roll to a minimum. That gives the L9 Evez a much higher handling limit. We're driving the Evez trim, so this version comes fully loaded. It includes the Horizon Journey 6 chip, the 800V active suspension steer-by-wire, rear-wheel steering and brake-by-wire. So what's it actually like to drive? The steer-by-wire system changes the steering ratio. Instead of turning the wheel a full rotation, about 2/3 of a turn is enough. The nice thing about the steer-by-wire system is that it's adjustable. You can choose a conventional steering ratio or a quicker one. So even if you've never driven a steer-by-wire car before, it won't feel awkward. The rear-wheel steering gives this SUV a turning radius of just 5.3 meters. And that's adjustable too. Turn it off and the turning radius becomes 6 meters. Everything is included, but if you're not used to these new technologies, you can simply switch them back to a more familiar driving feel. Beyond reducing steering effort, steer-by-wire also makes the steering feel smoother and more comfortable. Since there's no mechanical connection between the steering wheel and the wheels, road bumps that would normally be transmitted through the steering wheel are completely isolated. Your hands feel almost no vibration. Steering is also more precise and responsive. Even a small input changes the vehicle's direction, making the SUV feel more capable. The advantages of brake-by-wire are very similar. The brake pedal stays smooth without vibration or kickback. It almost feels like pressing a gaming pedal. Braking performance is also better. Compared with a conventional system, it can shorten the stopping distance by about 2 meters. Response is quicker, braking authority is stronger, and the overall safety margin is higher. During assisted driving, steer-by-wire and brake-by-wire work together to coordinate the vehicle more effectively, making the system faster and more responsive. Those are the main benefits of steer-by-wire and brake-by-wire. So what does it actually feel like to drive? Honestly, it's almost like driving a toy car. The steering and pedals provide very little physical feedback. The active suspension smooths out nearly every bump, so you simply point the car where you want to go, and it does exactly what you ask. There's very little feedback through the controls. I don't know if you'll like that feeling. To me, it's an impressive showcase of modern technology. If you don't like it, you can turn those features off. But if you do, it's genuinely enjoyable. Personally, I like it. The steering is accurate, the handling is excellent, but it never feels heavy or tiring. Controlling this big SUV feels surprisingly effortless. It's powered by a dual-motor all-wheel drive system with more power than the previous L9. Output is now 420 kilowatts, with a 0 to 100 kilometers per hour time of 4.9 seconds. It also gets a 72.7 kilowatt-hour battery, providing a CLTC pure electric range of 420 kilometers. Speaking of range, there's one thing worth mentioning. It's not really a downside of the active suspension, but because it's an 800V direct drive active suspension, it does consume a little more energy. It's like driving a high-powered gas car. Floor the throttle and it'll burn more fuel, but you get the thrill in return. The 800V active suspension is similar. You trade a bit of efficiency for a much more exciting experience. The steer-by-wire system has 3 steering weight settings. Even in the lightest setting, though, I still think it feels a little heavy, even for me. I think that's because conventional progressive steering has a bit of built-in slack. At highway speeds, a tiny steering input usually won't upset the car, leaving some margin for error. But steer-by-wire is extremely precise. Even a slight movement immediately changes the vehicle's direction. To keep the car stable, the steering has to be a little heavier. Otherwise, if it were too light, every tiny input would make the vehicle wander. So while the tuning makes sense, I still think the steering feels just a bit too heavy. The brake-by-wire system is also slightly more sensitive, because everything responds almost instantly. The response is faster and the braking feels more direct. I think the 3 drive modes could have more distinct tuning. I'd like to see a little more emphasis on steering and braking comfort in the comfort-oriented settings. Ever since I drove the Li Auto i8 and i6, my opinion of the brand has really changed. I used to think of Li Auto as just a fridge, a TV, and a big sofa. But after the i-Series increased suspension stiffness and raised the handling limits, I felt the company became much more focused on driving dynamics. Now the product isn't just comfortable, it actually drives well too. I've switched the ambient light to yellow. It can display yellow, white, or blue depending on the selected mode. So now we've tested the ES9, M9, L9 Tianqing Ultimate, and the L9 Evez with active suspension. So what do you think, everyone? If you're interested, I'd recommend visiting a showroom and experiencing these top-spec Chinese luxury SUVs for yourself. As for me, I'm heading to the local pool for a swim. Thanks for watching this episode of Yikolai Kinche. I'm Yeshingyi. See you next time.